Hello, today we are going to share on the readings of the 20th Sunday, August the 20th. And the readings mainly would talk about the Gentile people. Gentile would mean would be other than the Jewish people. And the Gospel will talk about this Canaanite woman, Gentile, non-Jewish. And the first reading will talk about God accepting the Gentiles and would accept them into His house of prayer. So it would be about God's house of prayer for all peoples, not only Jews, but also Gentiles. So the first reading, thus says the Lord, observe what is right, do what is just, observe what is right, and do what is just, for my salvation is about to come. Yeah. My justice about to be revealed, and my justice will be revealed to you. So the foreigners who join themselves to the Lord, ministering to Him, loving the name of the Lord, and becoming His servants. So here foreigners that are not Jews, the Gentiles who are not Jews, if they join up with God and would join up with God in service and also love and working for God. All of them who keep the Sabbath free from profanation and hold to my covenant, them I will bring to my holy mountain. So these are the Gentiles, or so-called foreigners, and make joyful in my house of prayer. So if they come to the house of prayer of God, they would be happy, would be joyful. Their burnt offerings and sacrifices will be acceptable on my altar, for my house shall be called a house of prayer for all peoples. No exception. Not only Jews, but all peoples. This is the first reading. And the second reading, we come to Paul sending a letter to the community of Romans. And he said, I am speaking to you Gentiles, inasmuch as I am the apostle to the Gentiles. So Paul, his main work is spreading the good news to the Gentiles. I glory in my ministry in order to make my race jealous and thus save some of them. St. Paul is a Jew. So here he said, hope they will be jealous of me doing my work and save some of them. For if their rejection is the reconciliation of the world, what will their acceptance be but life from the dead? So from the negative to the positive, from rejection to acceptance, and from the dead to life. So St. Paul would speak about this. For the gifts and the call of God are irrevocable. So what God would give, He would always give. Just as you once disobeyed God, but have now received mercy because of their disobedience, so they have now disobeyed in order that by virtue of the mercy shown to you would be the Gentiles, they too may now receive mercy. For God delivered all to disobedience, that he might have mercy upon all. So God would want all people to get his mercy, experience his mercy, from the negative to the positive. Now we come to the Gospel, and in the Gospel of St. Matthew. At that time Jesus withdrew to the region of Tyre and Sidon, and behold, a Canaanite woman of that district came and called out, "Have pity on me, Lord, Son of David." So a Canaanite is a Gentile foreigner, not a Jew. But she came and asked Jesus to have pity on her. Why? "My daughter is tormented by a demon." So she explained, I need you to help my daughter. But Jesus did not say anything, did not answer. It seems that Jesus is neglecting her. Very negative. And then Jesus' disciples, would his disciples then ask Jesus, listen to her and help her? No, they were the same. They said, send her away, for she keeps calling out for us, after us, disturbing us. Send her away. There's a very negative response now. And Jesus did not say something positive. He only said, I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I was sent only to help the Jews who were astray. So Jesus seemed also not to care for the Gentile woman, for the Canaanite woman. So, but here I want to say it here, Jesus only wants to reflect the attitudes at that time of the Jews towards the Gentiles. So he said, I'm here only to care for the Jews. But the woman came and did Jesus homage, saying, Lord, help me. And Jesus' response was worse. What did he say? It is not right to take the food of children and throw it to the dogs. But the woman, the Gentile woman, she was caring for her daughter very much, and she knew Jesus would be able to help. So she wanted Jesus to help, and she expressed that she felt that Jesus could help. And how did she express? She took what Jesus said and said, please, Lord, for even the dogs eat the scraps that fall from the table of their masters. That means the pets, the dogs in the home, they would wait for scraps to fall from the table and they could go and eat it. So it happens in homes like that. So she said, even dogs eat the scraps that fall from the table of their masters. And Jesus said to her, O woman, great is your faith. That means, although I said all these things, your response showed that you really believe that I could help your daughter. Your faith is very great. Not what people think, that you don't have any faith, that Gentiles don't have any faith. Here Jesus wanted to show that they could have great faith. So great is your faith. Let it be done for you as you wish. So here Jesus said, all right, you wish your daughter, you wish me to help your daughter, okay. And the daughter was healed immediately. Did the woman carry her daughter before Jesus? Possibly not. But here it wants to show that Jesus healed her daughter. So here Jesus used the occasion to show that Gentiles, foreigners, not only Jews, can have faith, great faith. And they could pray, and they could come to his house, God's house of prayer, to pray. And St. Paul was correct in spreading the good news to the Gentiles. So we have this here. Jesus wants to break through the thought that Gentiles are lower than the Jews. And now we come to the 15th of August, just passed. The 15th of August would be China's National Ecology Day. There is stressing it every year. August the 15th would be China's National Ecology Day. In Hong Kong, on this day, Hong Kong opened up its what it had, what different organizations have done well in caring for the environment. But in this National Ecology Day, we also recall what plans China had also. And it had two plans, a double plan, one to be accomplished in 2030 and one by 2060. So in 2030, China would want their carbon dioxide emissions to peak. That means it will no more go higher, and then stabilize, and then decline. So peak and coming down, improvement. And this is by 2030. But by 2060, China hoped to be carbon neutral. That means the emission and recovering of carbon would be zero, neutral, carbon neutral. And that by 2060, China would have fully established a green, low carbon, circular economy. The economy would not be only about money, but would be green, would be low carbon, and circular. That means sustainable. So they hope to achieve this by 2060, but that is too slow. We need to do it faster. But it is very difficult, but we need to do it. And the Hong Kong diocese, the Catholic Church in Hong Kong need to do more. We are not doing enough. We are not serious enough. We need to do more. But the Pope has already begun something some years ago. And every year there would be a season of creation. And every year there would be a motto or a topic. And it would be, the season of creation would be in December, every year December. And this year the topic is let justice and peace flow. Here, flow means like water in the river, flowing, flowing, flowing. That means justice and peace happening, happening, and continue to happen. And so this year, this is it. And when we talk about justice and environment, we must know that those who suffer most when the environment is not good would be the lower level people and the poorer countries. They will suffer most. So it is unjust. Let justice and peace flow. Season of creation. And we must learn to create with God. God created the whole world, and the whole world must understand it has the power to co-create. We must co-create with God. We must co-create with the environment.